People State of Michigan versus Diane Foster Senior. You start with counts 1, 2, 3, fraud, welfare, failure to inform, $500 or more. You count 4, fraud, welfare, failure to inform, less than $500. The finish for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Erica Tucson on behalf of people, P56831.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Stephanie Achenbach of the Public Defender's Office on behalf of Jemiah Foster, who is seated to my left. Can you please state your name for the court? Jemiah Foster. Make sure you stand up when you address the court. Thank you.
Seymour Schwartz, Your Honor, I'm appearing on behalf of the defendant, 29789.
James Austin. All right, we're here for an exam. Are we proceeding?
Yes, we're ready to proceed. I have one witness. I would ask for mutual sequestration order. I believe there may be a potential witness in the courtroom, Marcia Maiden. I would ask that she be sequestered.
All right.
You know, she may be a potential witness, but not today.
She, in this case, goes to the court. She's barred from testifying at circuit court, so she may need to step out. If you're going to lose a part case, she's not. All right, you may proceed.
I guess with that, we want to do this part of the stand. Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Joseph Biscarnar. It's Jake. Go ahead. Sorry. That's
I'm sorry.
Joseph, Joseph Biscarnar, Biscarner.
And how are you employed?
With the Michigan Office of Inspector General.
And how long have you been there?
A little over 6 years.
And what does the Office of the Inspector General do?
Public assistance, fraud investigations. The unit that I'm assigned to also does like employee investigations and other related.
And are you familiar with the case of people named James Foster Senior and Jemiah Foster?
Yes.
And how is it that your investigation started? Let's start.
So the special investigation unit that I'm assigned to, again, does employee investigations. So there was an employee investigation, and then in the midst of that investigation, I discovered some other questionable circumstances that led to these investigations.
Okay, so the employee was someone who also worked at HSS?
Yes.
What started? All right. And then as part of your investigation, it morphed into James and Jemiah Foster, am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
All right. And as part of your duties, you have access to certain databases.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the databases that you use as part of this investigation?
We have databases that'll look at all of the like DHS cases. It's our Bridges software. So we can run, individuals, we can run addresses, we can see the programs that they have, whether it be food assistance, Medicaid, CDC, which would be the child care. Again, the addresses will show, cases assigned to those addresses. We have employment databases that we can run that'll show all the quarterly earnings, any previous earnings from years past or current.
And if I'm understanding correctly, the databases, you can do a search and cross-reference different people at an address gaining benefits.
Yes.
Is that correct? And as a law enforcement officer, do you also have access to law enforcement databases?
Yes.
What type of database do you have access?
As far as the specific.
Secretary of State records?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, yeah, we have clear reports we can run that'll have like associated businesses, they'll have associated addresses with the individual, driver's license numbers and those reported addresses. Secretary of State, again, with the registered driver's license, what the address shows on the driver's license, when it was reported, when it was issued, when it expires.
And you personally have access to all of these records?
Yes.
And these records are kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
And in this case, all the records that you pulled, did you also get them certified?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to start first with Mr. James Foster. May I approach your honor with exhibit number 1?
No.
I think you attorneys all have these. Showing you exhibit number 1. What are we looking at here?
So this is a MDHS assistance application for healthcare. It's dated 4/80/20, and it's for James Foster. Listing is the social number and date of birth to verify his identity, and then it also shows a home address of 509 MLK Boulevard.
It doesn't have a series of questions on there as part of the application process.
It does. So it lists the addresses, and their phone numbers, emails. It goes through their signatures, what programs they're asking for. It also asked whether they're married. And then it also asks for any kind of employment, whether it's earned income, unearned, or self-employment income.
And, are these submitted by the applicant themselves?
Yes.
And how is it done?
So this one was particularly done online. So they would log into their LiveBridges account and fill out the information, and then they would, before they sign, there's a dialogue that opens up and indicates, under the penalties of perjury, I've been truthful, going through all the rights and responsibilities, and that physically has to be signed before or acknowledged before they sign and submit.
Okay, and this is a portal with some kind of distinguishing marks for individuals?
Yes, yeah,
And what are some of those distinguishing characteristics?
they'd be like their login information, and then all of the, again, the social number, the date of birth, their addresses.
And what, if anything, was important in the document when you were reviewing, this case on the whole?
Most importantly, it would be the marital status, and then also any of the employment or self-employment.
And what, did he indicate was his marital status at the time of application on 4/8/2020?
So the question asked if he's married, and it stated no.
All right, and then you indicated that it also asked questions about self-employment?
Yes, and on that one, it says, is anyone in your household self-employed, and it states no.
And as part of that investigation, did you do some follow-up into that, well, based on that and the application, what's the next step normally in the process?
So based on, the first investigation that led into this, I needed to verify the marital status, and then I also needed to verify if the employment information was accurate as well, due to the discrepancy with the marital status.
May I approach group visit number 2?
Yeah.
Showing you what's been admitted or found. I'm sorry, move to admit exhibit number 1 as well.
Any objection on behalf of Jemiah Foster?
That's James Foster.
James Foster?
No, you're.
This is number.
Exhibit number 2. What are we looking at here?
So this is a healthcare coverage determination notice, more specifically a DHS 1606. This document is used to notify the individual that's applying for the assistance. For, again, this case is for healthcare for Medicaid. So it notifies them of their eligibility, which it does state that they were eligible starting for 1/20 for the Healthy Michigan Plan for full coverage. And then it also goes into the reporting responsibilities, which again kind of piggybacks off of the rights and responsibilities that are signed to on the application. So this just indicates that there's 10 days that they have to report any kind of changes in circumstances as far as household size, income, any circumstances, whether they're moving.
Okay. And that again is a normal record kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
All right, move for the admission exhibit number 2.
No objection.
Been made.
And again, what was the date on that document?
The date at the top is 4/8/20.
So he applied on 4/8/2020 and got approved the same day. Thank you. May I approach to exhibit number 3?
We met.
Showing you exhibit number 3, what are we looking at here?
So this is let's see here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the certification of records from Steve Florian. He's even part of our vital records with the Department of Health and Human Services. So he was certifying that the marriage license that I have obtained was kept through the only business, but the marriage license indicates that James Earl Foster and Marquia Charisse Maben were in fact married, and the marriage date on that appears to be August 22nd of 2014, which is 6 years prior to the application for assistance.
And again, this is something that you got certified from the vital records.
Yes.
Move for the admission exhibit number 3.
Any objection?
No, you're.
We met.
All right. So as your investigation is going on, you have information now on an application that he's not married according to him, but you find a marriage certificate that he is. Did you do any kind of checking to see if there was any divorce decree or any kind of separation decree at all?
So my typical request when I ask vital records for, any of the vital records requests for any case is always for marriages. Is there a marriage record or divorce records? And there wasn't any.
May I approach exhibit number 4? Showing what's been pre-marked exhibit number 4. What are we looking at here?
So this is a certified record coming from the licensing and regulatory affairs. And this is certifying that the document, the articles of organization for a business called New Clean Detail LLC, which has James Foster Senior listed on it with a street address of 722 Ashland, Pontiac, 48342. And this is just showing that the business was opened, looks like November 2018. And then I believe there's a renewal in here as well, in 2020. Let's see, double check. It's like February of 2020, it was renewed.
And again, his application for Medicaid benefits comes in at 4/8/2020.
Shortly thereafter, yes.
And again, this is a certified record from the law.
Yes.
Move for the omission of exhibit number 4.
No objection.
And said, when was the business owner?
So initially it states,
When was the art?
looks like November 7th of 2018, and then it was renewed in 20.
And when you see this, do you do any kind of, looking up on social media of any kind? And, are you looking at open books?
Yeah, so the account that's used is just to view anything that's not restricted. There's no friend request, nothing. It's literally anything that's open to the public that's not locked down by the individual. So it's simply just logging in Facebook and searching, and any profile that comes up that matches who I'm looking for, I'll go through whatever's open publicly there.
And did you personally do that?
I did.
And did you come across anything of interest in your investigation?
I did.
May I approach with exhibit number 5?
I need your mic closer to you as well.
Okay. And, is this a printout that you copied from something that you saw?
Yes.
And I'm just gonna ask you what the date of that is.
April 21st of 2020.
And was the topic dealing with New Deal?
New Clean Detail, yes.
And was that the same company under exhibit number 4 for Mr. James Foster that was established in 2018 and renewed in 2020?
Yes, it lists his name as well.
And then at, may I approach with exhibit number 6?
No.
What are we looking at here on exhibit number 6?
So this is another, standard correspondence that's mailed out to the recipients of public assistance. This one in particular is a new hire client notice mailed to James Foster. And it's a document, it's a new hire client notice. So typically the employer had reported that James had been employed or was receiving earnings, and it flags in our system. And if it was never previously reported within those 10 days, like it's required, they'll send us out looking for verification, like trying to figure out, are you working here? What's the income? It wasn't reported, update your stuff so we can accurately budget.
And what was the date of that?
12/28 of 20.
So basically 6 months after he originally applied for Medicaid benefits, a notice was going out because something in your system triggers
Yes.
he's working. Based on your looking through all the records, did you ever see a notice to you guys that he got a new job in that 10-day period?
No.
Did you ever get a response on this letter at this time?
No.
All right. Move the omission, and again, this is the record kept in normal course of business within your system?
Yes.
Right, move for the omission of exhibit number 6.
Any objection?
I'd like to see the letter, but you have a move for admission of 5, right?
That's right.
So 5 has not been.
I have not done that. Just the date and the topic. That's all I need. Move for the omission of exhibit 6.
Any objection?
No.
Admit.
All right, may I approach with exhibit number 7? Showing you exhibit number 7, what are we looking at here?
So this is a wage match client notice. Again, it's another correspondence that's mailed to recipients if something's flagged in the system as far as any kind of like income. So this particular incident is quarterly income that looks like it was received for, I believe SDA was Chrysler. dated 4/13/21, and this was mailed to Mr. Foster. Showing a quarterly income report of just a little over $2,800.
And what, if anything, was of interest on that document when it was received? Was it received back by the Michigan, Health and Human Services?
Yeah, it was received back. It's kind of written across the front that it says no longer work here. Now work for an Alpha.
And is there another page with a signature on it? And
Yes, on a couple of pages in. So on page 3 of 3, it says, again, written across the top, only at an Alpha Roofing. And then it's written across kind of midsection on the page here. It says James Foster.
and the better record kept for your business.
Yes.
Move for the admission of the physical number 7.
I would pay us a couple of bucks.
Right, what's the button?
What was that second?
yes, sir.
Or, look, so here's the deal, the black mic's on the table, pull them closer to you to speak into the mic, or you gotta go to the podium.
Go to the podium. Received on April 13th,
Yes.
and that is purported to have been sent by Mr. Foster.
Yes.
And what exactly is that wage match claim notice?
Yeah, it's a DHS 4638.
What is it?
The DHS for the numbers or the actual wage client.
What is it? What's the purpose of it?
Purpose of it is there was a flag in the system that showed that there was potentially earnings earned by Mr. Foster that wasn't previously reported. And we were requesting, is this accurate?
What was that income?
It just shows quarterly income reported. It doesn't specifically spell out, to my knowledge, a specific date or a specific quarter. And that's when the letter went out to verify that information. So typically, if it would have said, if a response would have been, you come in that, yeah, I did work for Chrysler, or I do work for Chrysler, we typically find out, when did you start? What's your income?
That's a roofing company, correct?
Well, this FCA USA LLC is what they were referring to. This letter, when it came back, answered, it just said, I no longer work there, which would indicate he wasn't working at Chrysler anymore. But then he says, I'm working at an Alpha.
What did he say?
It says no longer work here. So that's referring to the FCA US LLC
So it's not working for Chrysler.
anymore.
That they're-
Correct.
Yeah.
And then it says now work for an Alpha.
Can you spell that, please?
It's INALFA roofing.
He responded to that letter.
Yes,
Or at least you believe he responded.
it says James Foster.
All right, and that was adequate information to respond. To respond.
I mean, there's a lot more information in here where it goes over like the employment status, where you laid off, did you quit, were you fired, last paycheck, employment. So there was a lot of information that was not included on this document.
Did you send that back?
Pardon me?
Did you send that back?
I don't receive this comes back to the caseworkers.
Oh, I see. Did the caseworker send it back?
I can't speak for them.
Did the caseworker contact them and say, we need additional information?
Again, I can't speak on their behalf.
So you don't know what they do.
No.
The general rule, would you know, what a caseworker did? As you go through your investigation?
I can see what's written in the case comments and the bridges, which I have access to. I can see.
And did you do that?
I do, yes.
Did you do that in this instance?
I do it for all my cases.
All right, so you did it in this instance.
Mhm.
All right, what do those case comments say?
I can't speak directly to them if they're not in front of me. There's a lot of notes. I mean, we're talking lots of notes that are under there.
So you can't tell us whether or not the caseworker contacted Mr. Foster.
I can't tell you, again, I'd have to review the case comments.
All right,
And if I recall correctly,
well, I just want to know what you know.
oh,
So if Mr. Foster, if they contacted Mr. Foster, it's possible that he responded in a way that didn't trigger any need to ask further information or to start an investigation, did it?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, just had a question. If,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but are we doing,
uh,
just check, ask some questions about the document, or are we doing cross right now? Because I have some more.
No, it's not even cross. He's asking questions about the document. He's still the document.
so there's nothing else on the document, other than the response.
Yeah, page 2 is blank, which again indicates it's asking employment status.
But
Hours.
let me ask you this, you can't tell us whether the caseworker was satisfied with that response or not, can you?
I'm not the caseworker, so
Well, the caseworker didn't contact you and say, I'm dissatisfied, could you start a?
well, at that point in time, there wasn't an investigation going on, so
Did the caseworker start an investigation?
they could submit a fee investigation.
Object to his admission.
Again, these are certified records. And we're going to first business that will include the admission.
They're admitted pursuant to the, hearsay exception, business record.
And, but the point is, these are generated when something triggers the system.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit more about that. What triggers the system?
So the wages or like the new hires, it's typically reported to like the IRS that there was employment that started or you're registered with this business. That's where the new wage or the new client hires come from. The wage matches is that, hey, they reported there was earnings. And then we see it and we realize, hey, this wasn't reported. So then the response is generated and sent out to them to confirm, to verify, hey, is this accurate information? You didn't report it to us.
So far we have two of them. One, for an Alpha Roofing, where they made an inquiry on 12/8/2020 with no response. That was exhibit number 6. And then another one goes out in 2021 with a different employment with a response that goes along with exhibit number 6.
Yes,
And again, the requirement is to report any changes within 10 days.
correct, 10 days.
Did you see anything where anything was submitted through that portal, with the account number on it saying that he's got new employment?
No.
If he had done that, would that have triggered some kind of assessment in the benefit amount he was receiving?
They could have reviewed to see eligibility wise, or if, he was working for another employer that offered insurance, he could have, reported as, again, within 10 days that, hey, I don't need this anymore, close it down.
And then, may I approach with exhibit number 8, Your Honor? Yeah, you indicated that this, I'm sorry, first of all, what is this we're looking at here, exhibit number 8?
So this is to renew your benefit. So it's redetermination. It's a MDHHS 1010. In the case name of Curtis Foster. The date on it is 8/4/20.
And what is the address on that document?
509 Martin Luther.
And was that also the same address used by Mr. Foster on his original application on 4/8/2020?
It was.
And is this something that you can cross-check within the Bridges system?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And why was this document of interest to you?
So I found it associated with the address that Mr. Foster had reported, James to be more specific. And I saw Curtis, and then again, the same last name. I looked it up and was looking through the reported documentation in the system, the Bridges system, and Mr. Curtis had reported 4 months after James had reported, he was living at this address, and Mr. Curtis only reports himself, his mother Mary and father Frank living at that address. There's no report of James living there.
Living there. And again,
I'm gonna object, Your Honor. It's not relevant. It has nothing to do with my client. It has to do with Curtis Foster and whatever he said. And if they want to say that that was a fraudulent document, then feel free, but it doesn't relate to my client at all. And he didn't fill it out and he didn't sign it and he had nothing to do with it. It's not relevant.
the point is, it's the address that's using, and then the Bridges system does a cross-check to see who's living and who's getting benefits at every given address. So as part of the investigation, he's cross-checking addresses that are listed by the defendant, because he's already saw several discrepancies. 1, he's married. 2, he has a business. And now we got a third problem with the address.
So objection overruled.
Move for the admission of exhibit number 8.
Any objection?
I object to the admission, on the basis of relevant,
All right. Objection noted for the record, exhibit A admitted.
Thank you. And then based on your investigation as a whole, you indicated you investigated other family members that started from an employee of that very site.
Yes.
In reviewing those documents, did you also come across yet another adverse of interest in your investigation?
Do you have?
A Pontiac address.
Oh, yes, the Lafayette place, the one is, I believe it was 151. Lafayette. And Pontiac.
And how was that important?
So I looked at that address and determined that there was, like James had reported, or I found a lease at that address, that's what came up in the association of the investigation, where that was an associated address. And I looked in that one as well too, and there's no doubt that James was recently at least at that apartment.
And again, that is just based on standard records and you have access to checking records to see who has benefits at each given
Yes.
address. And did that then play into yet another investigation?
Yes, it would go into the daughter's investigation, Jemiah.
And did you go to that apartment complex in Pontiac?
To the actual
Oh,
part,
I'm sorry, did you have to like reach out in some way?
I did, I reached out to the property manager in order to verify the residency.
And who was on the lease?
I would object.
James
Just
was.
saying.
I didn't ask what anybody said. I'm just asking what he did.
He didn't do anything. He asked, and the answer is, he was told, just didn't say.
Well,
He didn't get the lease.
I do have the lease. I'll go do that next before you interrupt.
and then also, the last one is that, okay,
We approach with exhibit number 13.
you know,
During you, after your conversation with the apartment people, did you then get some documents via the PINA for who's living at that address?
Yes, so the front here is a certification of records from Robert Davis, who was the property manager of Lafayette Place Lofts at the time, which is the 151 Lafayette Street, Pontiac.
And he had those certifications.
Yes.
And what, if anything, was him interested in that?
So I have a lease agreement that indicates the employment income for James Earl Foster. Again, identifying information matches him. Just shows, again, employment records in here. And it also shows I work 10 to 12 hours a day and have a cleaning business.
And then it was all the income self-reported in that document? Does it say self-reported income?
Fine, correct page here. So yeah, the employment verification on here signed by Mr. Foster, it shows an alpha. The location, the hourly or monthly income, what his position is, when his start date was. And then,
What was the date of when the employees was originally started?
I believe the move-in date on it was 11, that's not the correct page there, that's that's the updated one. There's a couple of here, I apologize. Here's the update, here's that signed 11/10 of 21.
Right, and then was it renewed also?
Yes, in 22.
What was the renewal date?
The renewal date just had here in front of me, I believe it was around the same time in 22. Renewal lease begins 12/1 of 22.
So 2021 and 2022, you living according to the lease in Pontiac at that 151, 106.
Yes.
106. Move to admission of exhibit number 13.
the objection,
No,
you know,
And you indicated that, once you find all these discrepancies, what if anything do you do?
I mean, there's several different things I do. I start, looking at anybody else associated with the address, start making sure everything's reported accurately as far as the group composition, make sure everybody who's, are living in the home is actually reported in the home, so the commute budget's done correctly based on, the policies and procedures in place.
Did you find another beneficiary using that address?
I did.
Who was that person?
It was Jemiah Foster.
All right. And once you do this, based on if I'm understanding correctly, based on the original information, not working, not married, you've given an amount of benefits, correct?
Correct.
Do you go back and then assess what if was eligible or not?
Yes,
Okay. And did you do that in this case?
I did.
And does applying for Medicaid have specific limits for the size number of people in family?
Yes, depending on the program, it has its own individual income limit and based on the group size. So group size 1, 2, each one has its own actual limit.
And are there some standard charts that you can use?
Yes.
May I approach with exhibit number 10? And what are all these, that package of exhibit items?
So these are the monthly income limit chart. It's federal poverty limit guidelines. And this was effective for 1/20. And for the Healthy Michigan plan for group size group 1, the income limit would have been $1,414 for that month.
And based on your investigation, this is over the limit?
Yes, there's also annual income limits as well.
Now, then do you then do another assessment as to what the overage amount of benefits is?
Yes.
Showing you, I'm sorry, move revision of exhibit number 10?
Any objection?
No.
Showing you exhibit number 11, what are we looking at here?
So this is a Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Medicaid summary report. So this outlines each month that benefits were issued to James. It's basically to kind of be more specific at the capitation cost, which is no different than like a monthly premium that the state of Michigan is paying out for them to remain eligible in the chance that they'll use the Medicaid.
And did you have to recalculate what the overage was based on what you reported and what your investigation was?
Yes.
Yeah, she did that from the total on that.
Yeah, so the grand total on this one shows $13,256.54 in capitation. So that's what the state of Michigan paid out for him to remain Medicaid eligible.
And what were the years of that?
So the beginning is 4/1/20, and that ran through the end of March of 23.
Move to mission exhibit number 11.
Any objection?
What did you say? $13,256?
And 54 cents. 13,256.54.
And that's the gross amount of income you can have over 3.
No, that is what the state of Michigan paid out. That's the benefits that Mr. Foster received.
You started at 420.
4/1/2020.
When did it end?
March 31st of 23.
I have no objection.
Mayor,
Show you exhibit number 12. What are we looking at here?
So this is the Medicaid budget that I had generated. So I had taken the group size that was, the accurate group size, the date, and then the income that was received. And any of the months where that income exceeded the federal poverty income limits establishes the overpayment. So it shows the date, the group size, the income. There's a disregarded amount. And then the Medicaid limit's also listed on there. And then it also shows yes or no if they were over the limit. So for this actual budget, every single one of the months was over the limit. And then the actual total amount is generated, which matches the Medicaid summary report, the 13,256.54 is what the overpayment was.
Thank you. Move to revision of exhibit number 12.
any objection?
Yeah, I'm confused. One of the months exceeded the limit?
All of them,
Every month exceeded.
yes,
Based on what?
the income.
Depending on who lived in the apartment with them or not?
The household income.
Uh,
depending on where he was living, whether it be there or not.
what do you mean whether it be there or not? I
Anybody?
don't understand. If he wasn't living there, you're still imputing, income?
If it was less than 4, it's still, the income limit's less. So regardless of whether it's 1 to 4, you're still over the income limit.
What if he's living lonesome?
You would be over the income limit.
So his personal earnings exceeded the income limit.
For this budget, I used 4. The
So
group
did
size,
you impute numbers for that, or did you get actual tax returns?
this would be the income that I received
Received from whom?
from an Alpha in the city of Pontiac.
So he had to send his income.
I requested that.
Well, I understand you requested it, but wherever you got it from,
Correct.
he had to provide that income to them.
I'm
Oh,
not-
where did he get it? Where did you get it?
I just told you I got it from his employers. I
Oh,
got it
so
from
you
the
went
employer.
around to his employers?
Yeah,
to pay
I
the
did.
income?
I didn't get that from him, or he didn't give it to them to give to me. I got from that,
Well,
the employees. That's why I wasn't sure
Hiding
what
it.
you're asking was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He wasn't hiding it. I mean, he went to his employers, they gave it to him, right?
After the fact, after the overpayment was established.
All right, well, did you ever, ask him for that?
He had an opportunity to speak to me, and he chose not to.
So you have a chance to cross-examination.
Yeah.
I just want to focus on document right now.
All right, I'm gonna object to the admission of that, on the basis of, where and how he received the income. And certainly it was in connection with the criminal investigation. I'll reserve the rest of my questions for later.
And then for the record, after the ordinary work for the business, how they calculated the point of this whole document is he didn't report any income at any time during this period, which is one of his responsibilities to notify within 10 days. Okay.
So it'll be amended over the objection,
Thank
which is noted for the record.
You also indicated that at some point you gave, you reached out to try to talk to Mr. Foster directly.
I did.
Tell me about that.
So I contacted him and explained who I was, what I was calling for. He took the call, and then after I explained who I was and what it was for and what it was regarding,
What did you tell them it was for?
the previous public assistance he had received.
Did you also inquire, were you making any inquiries into, any other investigations you were doing?
If I had more than just a short brief moment to talk to him before he told me he couldn't talk to me at the time because he was busy with work, that would have eventually led into that, yes.
Okay. Do you remember about when it was?
Can I refer to my report?
Yes, that'll help refresh your recollection.
So I have April 20th on here, but it seems to be, I may have a typo of the date on it. The left the ending here.
But it was after you.
Yeah, it was after, at the end of everything.
At some point, did you get forward a letter or did any letters come to you?
Yes, there were letters that came in.
Do you remember how many? In your time.
I would say at least 2.
May I approve exhibit number 9?
Mm.
Really need to speak in the mic, please. Okay.
Showing you exhibit number 9. What are we looking at here?
Just in regards to the interview, it was likely 23, because that's. I had 420 of a different,
I'm sorry, say that one more time for the record.
well, so the budget was generated in 23. So the interview typically would have occurred shortly before that budget was generated, so it was likely 420 and 23 if I reached out to Mr. Foster. Yes.
Thank you.
And
What are we
then-
looking at exhibit number 9?
Exhibit number 9 is a letter from James Foster. I don't see a date specifically written on it, but it's addressed specifically to me and case number, the investigation number. And it's a explanation of what may have occurred, and it's on the bottom of here, it says I did not do fraud or intentional scam, so I don't agree to nothing about fraud and scams.
And, this is another record kept in the ordinary course of business, anything received from, clients.
Yes.
Move for recognition of exhibit number 9.
I have no correction.
No.
And as part of your fraud investigation, what exactly was the violation that occurred in this case?
The welfare fraud failure to inform. He failed to report the income, but didn't request it closed.
Didn't report a wife,
Didn't report a wife or the employment,
didn't report a business,
correct,
didn't report address changes.
correct.
All of this is required every 10 days if something happens.
Within 10 days of the change occurring, yes.
And all of that, if it was reported, would have then triggered a reevaluation of Medicaid benefits.
Yes, at the initial application, if the marriage would have been reported, or if the income would have been reported, then DHS would have been able to accurately report it. But since it was not reported on the initial application, there was no way for us to know because it was withheld, it was omitted.
And I imagine the wife's income would have had to also been calculated when you applied for benefits.
Substantially, yes.
And again, just for the record, you eventually broke this down by year 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Yes,
All right. And just again, for the record, 2021 total amount that was overage was $2,979.45.
yes,
And that's over $500.
yes,
In 2021, $5,033.27, and that's over $500.
yes,
And 2022, $5,012.55.
Yes.
And that's over $20,000. And then 2023, $2,031.27, which is under $500.
yes.
Thank you. Past witness. Oh, do you want me to keep going with the other witness? Or-
Yes.
Okay. Now you indicated as far as, Jemiah Foster, tell me about that portion of your investigation.
So in midst of, again, the initial DHS employee investigation, again, in the course of regular business, checking, doing a very thorough investigation, I identified another individual in the course of looking at that investigation, Mr. James Foster's as well.
And they approached which exhibit number 1 for Jemiah Foster. Showing you exhibit number 1, what are we looking at here?
So this is a renew benefits or redetermination for the food assistance program. It's dated 9/20/22, and it appears to be submitted by Jemiah. Her home address, she's listing herself as homeless. However, she's using a mailing address of 151 Lafayette Street, 106 in Pontiac.
And is that the same address that was part of your investigation for James Foster?
Yes, it was.
All right. And how old is she at this point?
She was under the age of 22. I knew that.
And is that something that's triggered for me?
It is.
Tell me about that.
Per the DHS policy, any children that are residing with their parent, if they're under the age of 22, all of the parents' income needs to be factored into that child's, FAP benefits.
Okay. And, move to admit, and this is the record kept in the ordinary course of business.
Yes.
Move for the admission exhibit number 1.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Minutes.
Showing you exhibit number 2. What are we looking at here?
No. So this is a assistance application for childcare, again, 9/20/22. Again, Jemiah Foster has filled this out and is reporting again a mailing address of 151 Lafayette Street, Pontiac.
And is she also listing herself as homeless on that one?
Yes.
Are there any additional questions on that?
Yeah, it asks all the household information, who's in the home, is an income, if the people in the home have income. Are you living in an emergency situation? Are you homeless? Are you working?
Okay, so she's applying for,
Childcare at this point.
childcare as well as,
Redoing food assistance was the previous one, yeah.
And the date on both of those?
I believe they're both 9/20/22.
And then perhaps living in a shelter, but some additional things that are necessary to be done.
There's verifications. They'll reach out and ask for verification of where you're staying or like a shelter verification.
Did you find some records for shelter that were sent in?
Yes,
And again, this is done through the portal, same as
yes.
done through a portal, correct? Same as,
So let me stop right here. Just go to the podium. All questioning at the podium.
okay. All right, may I approach exhibit number 3?
Yeah, you can approach, you don't have to, it's a continuum.
Thank you.
Permission to say.
What are we looking at here? Exhibit number 3.
So this is a handwritten note that says Jemiah Foster at the top, and it shows a mailing address, 151 Lafayette, apartment 106 in Pontiac. I don't see a date on this stuff.
All right, but would the records have indicated the date?
Yeah, it would show when it was attached to the case.
And did you indicate that in your report
Yeah,
that you wrote this?
Yeah, it was-
Looking at your report, help refresh recollection of when?
it would.
Okay,
May
yes.
I? So I see 9/23/22, which would be 3 days after the application.
Okay. Who for the admission of exhibit number 3?
Can I just take a look at that real quick?
Let's,
Yes, it's. And I'm sorry, who is this from?
this would have been uploaded by Jemiah to the system, to the Bridges case. So however she had obtained it, it got uploaded to her case.
Okay, but you. It was
It was in the case file,
uploaded through her portal,
to my knowledge, or it was faxed in, one of the two.
but you
However,
don't know if it's from her.
it was into her case, yes. So
Okay.
presumably it would be from her, because unless somebody else has access to her case, which I,
But it's just for her mailing it. Right.
Correct.
It says, all right,
yeah,
thank you.
Move for the admission of exhibit number 3.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
And I think I moved for number 2 as well. But did not want that as well.
Any objection for number 2?
No, Your
That's the CDC at, all right, beginning.
All right, showing you exhibit number 4, what are we looking at here?
so this is a interview guide. Typically, eligibility specialists or payment workers will reach out to the recipient applying for benefits. They'll, this one's dated 9/26/22. Is anyone else living on the address is one of the questions, and that states yes. And then it just goes through a series of questions. And typically at the end of these, they'll have them, they'll read, like, write some responsibilities to them as far as like, hey, you gotta report any changes within 10 days. Ask them if they understand it, and if they say yes, they circle yes on here, which that's circled. There was a one in here that states, again, 9/26, states her and her son live with a friend temporarily until they find their own place. Again, 9/26/22 is what the date of that is. I don't see anybody else reported other than her and her son.
Move the admission of exhibit number 4.
No objection.
And then,
Showing you exhibit number 5, what are we looking at here?
So this is a letter that says Jemiah is staying at my place until she find a place, 151 Lafayette, apartment 106 Pontiac, and it's signed James Foster, and it has a 313-290-1447 phone number on it.
And based on your investigation, did you recognize that number?
I did.
And based on recognizing the number, who did you know that you could call?
James Foster Senior.
And again, based on your investigation, you had already obtained the lease for that location.
Yes, and then that the shelter verification would have been received on the 27th, which was the day after she said she wasn't living with anybody else but her son.
Move the admission of exhibit number 5.
any objection?
No, Your Honor.
You got it.
Showing you exhibit number 6, what are we looking at here?
It's another interview value, 10/7/22. Asking if the address is correct, states yes, it's for food assistance, states her and her son live with her brother, but prepare or purchase and prepare food assistance separately.
And again, that same address is that Pontiac address?
Yes.
And again, record kept in ordinary course of business,
Yes,
they need to live with their brother.
correct.
Move for admission of exhibit number 6,
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Maybe.
showing you exhibit number 7, what are we looking at here?
This is a notice of case action from 10/7/22. This is going over the approval for benefits. This shows that Jemiah was approved for childcare and for food assistance.
And again, a record kept in the ordinary course of business.
Yes, and this notice, the notice also, explains what her duty is as a recipient of benefits as far as reporting.
And again, a 10-day reporting standard.
This particular one was for simplified reporting, but again, it still goes over, you have a duty to report any changes.
Move for admission of exhibit number 7,
No objection.
Maybe.
showing you exhibit number 8, what are we looking at here?
It appears to be Jemiah Diane Foster's driver's license. It shows 151 Lafayette Street, apartment 106 in Pontiac. The issuance date on this is 10/10/22.
And when is she awarded?
Beginning of group, sorry. $920.
And does it indicate mailing or anything else, just that's her license?
That's just, it shows driver's license.
So is it based on your investigation, your understanding, driver's license proves residence?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. That's maybe his understanding. That is certainly not most people's understanding.
All right, within the law side. That's the. I was sustained rejection. I know we wait on the time license.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And this is a record kept in the ordinary course of business with MDHHS.
Yes.
Okay, move to admission exhibit number 8.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Maybe.
Showing you exhibit number 9. What are we looking at here?
This is another for assistance application, this time for food assistance and for healthcare. It's dated 3/27/23. Again, shows a mailing address at 151 Lafayette Street. Only reports her and her son to the residence. States that she's homeless still. There was some self-employment income reported on there. It's like selling cosmetics. And that's,
Is he still under the age of 22 at this point?
yes.
Move to admission exhibit number 9.
No objection.
Maybe.
Showing you exhibit number 10. What are we looking at here?
So this is an interview guide for 14/23. For healthcare and food assistance. Asking if the address is correct, she states yes. Again, she states, it's her son, and her brother. The brother's name, James Foster.
And again, this is record kept in the ordinary course of business.
Yes.
Move to admission of exhibit number 10.
No objection.
And we did this once, but let's do it again. We approach, exhibit number 11. What are we looking at here?
This is the lease agreement from Lafayette Place Lofts for James Foster Senior.
And again, just for this record, I believe you said it was started on November
21.
21 and a renewal in 2022. That's for that Pontiac address.
Yes.
Move to admission exhibit number 11.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I'm just gonna object to the fact that it's not relevant to my client. It's not her lease agreement, and the testimony has been consistently that my client is just using her father's address for a mailing address, and that she has been consistently homeless or residing with friends or brothers. So, I mean, the court can give it the weight that it wants, but I just want to clarify that for the record.
Except for exhibit number 5, which comes from James Foster, his phone number, and says she's living with him until she finds a place of her own.
Temporarily, he stated.
All right, exhibit 11 admitted. This is Jemiah Foster's objection, another for the record.
Thank you.
So it's 11/10/2021 to 12/1/2022, is that correct?
I believe so.
Yes. Showing you exhibit number 12, what are we looking at here?
This is an overissuance worksheet summary. It just goes over the reported earned income, the self-employment, and then James Foster Senior's income, since it was his lease, and that's where we determined she was residing at. The fact the fact that was issued, the emergency allotment at the time that was issued, what she would have been entitled to, which would have been 0, and then a total FAP overissuance, and that would show $3,237.
This is mentioned exhibit number 12.
No objection.
Amen.
At some point, did you try to reach out to Miss Jemiah Foster?
I did.
Tell me about that.
I reached out, and I believe if it's okay, I can refer to my report.
For the name yet.
Your Honor, I'm just gonna ask that counsel narrow her scope. Right now, that's calling for a narrative.
What was this conversation? I don't know how to respond. There's no statement.
Your question was, tell me about it.
Tell me about his contact with Jemiah Foster. He looked at the date. I didn't ask.
Okay,
Yeah, just looked at the date.
all right.
Give us synopsis of what she said.
Okay. So 6/1/23, I had contact. She wasn't able to speak to me at the time. And then 6/2/23 is when I contacted her and went voicemail. And then received a call shortly thereafter, and there was some contact to determine what her group size was.
What did you ask her?
I asked her who was residing in the home with her, how many people, and she said 3. Oh, wait, 4. Oh, no, 3. She was uncertain.
Sorry.
She was uncertain
I'm sorry.
at the time whether it was 3 or 4.
All right. And then, did anything else happen during that conversation?
I believe that there was a discussion of everybody, explaining that there needs to be, everything needs to be reported accurately. And if it wasn't, and benefits were received that shouldn't have been received due to any falsifications or withheld information, it could lead to, potential criminal charges. And then I was told, well, do what you gotta do. And then she hung up the phone.
Did you have any more contact with her after that?
I believe she started texting me.
Do you recall what, or when those texts came in, or
It was shortly after she disconnected the call.
did you call with the content of those texts?
What's the issue with using that residence? The address of that residence, and then that nobody can say they've seen her there or on camera, etc. The property manager can't say they've seen you there.
And then as part of the file, were there some letters sent in by Ms. Jemiah Foster as part of the record?
Yes, there was a letter, again, it's, trying to justify what had occurred, explaining that she just, I was doing this, there's no cameras, they can't say I was there, I was between places.
Do you recall how many?
I believe at least 2.
All right, showing you exhibit number 13. What are we looking at here?
It's a letter with my name at the top of it, addressed, to me. I didn't know whose name the address was, in being that my brother and dad has the same name. I didn't think my dad had the credit at the time to have placed in his name, so I assumed it was my brother's. And then I never lived with either my dad or brother when I applied for my case and said homeless.
On that same letter, did it indicate that she may be living with a stepdad?
Yeah, there's I for a fact was at my stepmom's and other locations until I got my own place.
And again, she's still under the age of 22.
During the scope of the investigation, the adult opinion, yes.
Move for the exhibit number 13.
No objection.
And then you indicated there's a policy regarding being under 22 and applying for benefits. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
And under the age of 22, parents' income needs to be factored into the food assistance. Right, any income the parent has.
Now, had she been honest, would that still have maybe made her eligible for benefits?
It could have, it depends on the income. Again, they have to look at the full scope that, this is what's being earned hourly, this is the hours, this is what's coming in as a gross. And then if the budget's, they'll budget it and determine if that's, they're supposed to get food assistance or not.
And at any point during that whole period from 2022 to 2023, did you see any changes within 10 days? Address changes, anything like that?
Related to an address on a parent, no.
And again, showing you exhibit 14. What are we looking at here?
Policy Ben 212 that explains the parents and the children under 22, but together must be included in the same group.
We also do a breakdown for a year for Jemiah. 2022 and 2020. Would you agree 2022, the offer issuance was $1,173?
Yes.
And that's over $500?
Yes.
And for 2023, it was $2,064. And that's over $500?
Yes.
And for a grand total of $3,237,
Yes.
and that was the offer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is that it? You ready to use that?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess when Jemiah go first, so I can. Cross on her behalf, you got cross on her behalf,
What's that?
you got cross on behalf of Ms. Jemiah.
Oh, do you want me to go first? Sure.
Hello.
You're not Ms. Foster's caseworker, correct?
Correct.
And you obviously never lived with Ms. Foster, correct?
Correct.
And you never personally observed where Ms. Foster slept on a daily basis between October of 2022 and April of 2023, correct?
Me personally, no.
And your knowledge of where she resided is just entirely based on documents that you received in your computer programs, correct?
The property manager as well.
Okay, did you ever personally interview Ms. Foster in any setting where she was living?
Well, I initially reached out to her, just kind of, go through everything with her and.
Just by phone though, correct?
Sure.
All right. So your report indicates that Ms. Foster was residing with her father, correct?
Correct.
And that conclusion is based primarily on the shelter verification and the other documents.
Correct.
But Ms. Foster consistently maintained that she was homeless, correct? And that she was primarily using the Lafayette address just for a mailing address.
That's what the applications would state, yes.
The documents, I guess there seems to be some confusion with these documents. They don't tell you how many nights per week she actually slept anywhere, correct?
Correct.
And you don't have anything from Ms. Foster indicating that she resides with her father full-time, do you?
Her father full-time, no, but it was James Foster that was reported. It just said brother.
Brother. Okay.
Doesn't say senior, doesn't say junior.
Did you ever interview any neighbors or anyone to see how often Ms. Foster was at this Lafayette address?
Neighbors, no. Property manager, yes.
And after speaking with the property manager, it was your impression that she was living there full time?
As a long-term resident, yes.
So the FAP eligibility, it's based on a household composition, correct?
Correct.
And that's also based on whether people live together and purchase and prepare food together?
Correct.
And did you conduct any type of investigation as to who purchased food for the household?
Sorry, could you be
Well,
more specific?
how do you figure that out?
So purchase and prepare is based on the statement of the recipient. However, the policy is under the age of 22. It doesn't, the purchase prepare doesn't apply to that.
So if someone is 18 and they're no longer involved with their parents, you're saying they wouldn't qualify for benefits? They always have to be included with their parents, even if they're at a homeless shelter? Or
If they're
living
residing in the home.
If they're residing in the home?
Correct.
Understood, okay. So with respect to Ms. Foster, she received food assistance, correct?
Yes.
And you don't have any additional information indicating that her and Mr. Foster bought groceries or anything together? You don't need to have that information. I guess I'm a little confused.
Yeah, that wouldn't, it's just, if they're living in the home together, 22, regardless, they can't be on their separate case. Parents' income has to be factored into the budget.
And did anyone from either you or any case manager that you're aware of sit down and explain these rules to Ms. Foster? Because obviously she's very young.
The rights and responsibilities, again, that's something that they acknowledge on their application. And then during the interviews that they have with them, they explain that everything is truthful, everything is accurate. And then if anything changes, you need to report it within 10 days. And those are checked off on those interview guys that those were done. And again, the applications can't be submitted unless they acknowledge that.
But is Ms. Foster's reading ability and her educational background considered?
I'm sure it is.
And Ms. Foster had a child at this, one child at this point, correct?
Yes, per the applications.
Does the application define what living with someone means in the context of part-time or temporary?
It asks household, so if you're in a household, who's there with you?
Okay, but if she just stays here and there at multiple locations, is there a set time frame that you have to stay somewhere for it to count or no?
Again, when I had spoke to the property manager, they had mentioned that long-term resident is what they considered her as.
But what
So
do you do
confused,
to prove that? Do you have any video? Do you have anything that is definitively showing that Ms. Foster was at this Lafayette address?
We also have that exhibit, I believe, number 5, that stated that she was there.
She said she was there temporarily though, right?
The letter stated that she was residing there. That she's living there, so that would have been the indication to, regardless of the time frame, it's she's there, she needs to say, hey, I'm living with my dad.
But then you have proof that she was at a homeless shelter, correct?
Homeless shelter, I would have to refer in. I don't recall, I'd have to double check.
Does the application delineate whether the residency is temporary or permanent? Do they check a box or do they just write an address now?
They can write an address down for like a home address, an address, and then they can also check whether or not they're homeless.
Okay.
Whether that is truthful on the application or not.
And that's what she did, correct? She indicated that the Lafayette address was her mailing address, correct?
I believe on the 20th, yes, and then within a week, the letter came in, allegedly signed by James Foster with his phone number, stating that she's living here.
Temporarily is what his letter said, correct?
defined temporarily, I guess.
Meaning not full-time, correct?
But she's staying here with her father.
So let's talk about the calculation of the overruns here. You said that the amount for the FAP benefits would be 0,
She wouldn't have received any based on the income.
based on her father's income,
Believe so, I'd have to,
because she had no income, right?
she reported that she was selling cosmetics on one of the applications, yes.
And how much did she report maybe?
I don't have that in front of me, but it was it was like 500, 800, somewhere in there,
But it qualified her for the benefits, correct?
just based on her alone.
Yes.
Sure.
Great. Thank you, I think that's all I have.
Read cross based on redirect on her cross or just wait until you.
Before we begin. Is that something I could do?
What's the issue?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I understand that we removed Ms. Maven from the courtroom, and as I'm sitting here giving my testimony, Jemiah has been on the phone texting, and I don't know, I'm just kind of not sure if she's out there texting, getting.
She's not, Your Honor. She's texting me.
Miss Foster, I suggest you relax. The long ends up, please. I'm gonna play that text in my court. Cause I don't know what's going on. It could be recorded or not, or whatnot. It's on the phone. You can hand it to Miss Achenbach.
Can I say something?
She was,
I was typing in my notes, and as you can see, I'm showing her my phone anytime.
yeah, she was trying to just show me her.
That's cool. That's fine. Okay, she got my phone back.
Yeah.
Oh, the subject phone.
I mean, she typing with her notes, it's fine.
And I recorded return her my phone, so you up there, and you would observe everything
All
there.
right, Miss Foster, relax. Let's take care of it. Go ahead, Mr. Short.
Thank you, Your Honor. You must be super smart. You can ask her, Ms. Maven.
All right, Mr. Schwartz,
I'll withdraw the question.
I'm getting irritated. Nobody wants me irritated. So let's get this going and let's land this claim. Thank
You
you.
wouldn't ask her, Ms. Maven, earlier. That precipitated all this.
What do you defeat?
Again, objection to form a question and what's the relevance?
Well, it is relevant. Ms.
What was the
Maven,
question?
I
I
asked,
went after Miss Maven before and I said objection, relevance, and argument.
well, maybe I already met him.
All right, sustain. Let's move on to the next question.
We'll go to the beginning. How is it that you, came upon, Mr. Foster?
I was conducting an investigation into an MPHS employee.
And nothing happened with that investigation, did it?
Again, objection, relevance,
Your Honor, it is relevant. It goes right to the heart of this. Can't get one, he goes after the others.
again, argumentative, and what is the relevance?
I'm gonna go right to this.
All
Now,
right, sustain. Please allow me to talk. I mean, I think that's a respect thing. And two, Mrs. Neal has to transcribe this transcript. If anybody cries about how terrible this transcript is because she couldn't hear, you don't want to hear me. So one at a time. And speak loud. Thank you.
I will. Thank you, Your Honor. You cross-reference everything. That's how you do it, right? Check stuff.
Yes.
And on the form that was originally filled out by Mr. Foster when he said he wasn't married, there was nothing on there showing that he was separated, was there?
I don't believe there's an option to put separated. However, at the bottom, there's a comment section where you could explain your situation a little bit more in detail.
Did anybody, are you personally aware of anybody contacting Mr. Foster and telling him in the comment section, he should define what his relationship is?
Anybody contacting directly, but we also,
Yeah, I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you're personally aware of anybody contacting him and telling him he should have put down separate in the
No.
comment section.
no, but he signs that everything's truthful.
Well, his belief that it was truthful. So, now, there were other things on that form, were there not?
Correct.
All right, and, you're saying that he, was, inaccurate when he filled out that form, correct?
Inaccurate or not truthful?
Inaccurate.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it was inaccurate or not truthful.
All right. You say untruthful, I say inaccurate. Did anybody, if you've done a lot of investigations, have you not?
I have.
And in the course of those investigations, people have turned in forms that have been untruthful, or have been inaccurate, correct?
Inaccurate, untruthful, yes.
And it's up to the caseworker to turn that information over to you, is it not?
Sorry, restate the
Well,
question.
if a caseworker gets information and they follow through, and find out that the information on there is incorrect.
Okay.
Do they follow through, or do they just turn it over to you for investigation?
So they would have to know that it was untrue.
So that would be their job to check those things, correct?
Yes, and under the Medicaid policy, I built, or Medicaid policy, the application process is that as long as what was reported on the application at that time, if there was eligibility, then they would approve it.
All right, so they take all the information on the forms as being truthful.
That's what they're signing to, yes, the recipient.
So nobody does any investigation, correct? At that point, there's no investigation done. You turn your form in, if it's all filled out, and it looks correct, it's stamped, approved.
Physically stamped? No, but
Well, whatever they do.
it would be approved. Like I said, it's an auto, it generates it.
All right, fair enough.
And Alexa, finish the question, answer the question, please.
I'm sorry. Would you like to finish?
Well, so the Medicaid applications is when they apply, as long as there's no, again, I would call it like a red flags or questionable things that show up. Like if you would have reported he's married and didn't report any income, they're gonna figure out, hey, where's the income coming from? But since it was no, they didn't know to look for a possible marriage. They looked for a secondary amount of income.
All right,
So they didn't know it was there.
good. That's to the best of your knowledge. You don't know that they didn't know he's there,
That's it.
correct?
Sure.
Had you got those forms, you would not have looked because you would have assumed that there was no partner and no additional income.
Well, during the application process and given my role at OIG, I'm not an eligibility specialist, so I wouldn't have gotten those forms or been able to answer to that.
So you don't really know what happens up to and until you receive some notification that an investigation is required.
I have a general understanding of it, yes.
So in a lot of instances, if there's some mistakes or red flags, is it your understanding that the caseworker contacts the recipient or person who filled out the application to see what the problem is?
They will contact them or they'll send over a fee investigation for us to do an initial assessment.
You don't know how they proceed if there's a red flag.
Again, they would verify, there's those verification checklists that they can send out or send over a fee investigation for us.
Well, do you know if they contact the recipient, person who's made the application?
In some,
Say, look, there's some problems here. Can we go over this?
in some instances, if it's required for an interview, then they would. That instance, it wasn't.
In this instance, wasn't anything that triggered the necessity of an interview.
Yeah, because there was no marriage or no, I'm sorry, it stated there was no marriage, no other income. So they deemed him as eligible based on those falsifications.
And when it was determined that there was a marriage, it could have been other, or may have been additional income. Was it turned over to you, or did the caseworker follow through, if you know, personally?
So I'm sorry, I said again.
There was a certain point where Mr. Foster came to the attention of the Department of Human Services, correct?
During my investigation into the DHS employee,
All right. And did you go back to the caseworker at that point?
I continued my investigation.
Or did you
With the
not notify the caseworker?
There's different hands on it at that time. Again, there's different caseworkers that address it. It's in my hands at this point. There's a case open, investigation case open on it. So I do my due diligence and doing a thorough investigation.
Did your due diligence include, any, investigation into how the federal government may have impacted, what people were supposed to do?
You're referring to a specific,
I'm referring to, the health emergency, Families First, Coronavirus Response Act.
so you're referring to the COVID policy that Medicaid, in order for it to be shut down, is they have to be deceased, residing out of state, or voluntarily ask for it to be closed.
You can't shut it down, correct?
We can shut it down based on falsification, or if they voluntarily ask for it to be closed.
All right, if they do nothing, what happens?
If there's nothing reported, it stays open, but again,
There's never a renewal either, is there? In Mr. Foster's case.
at that time frame, no.
You can't say, let me ask you, did you investigate his, what was it, cleaning service?
Specific,
There was a corporation that, you said, an LLC that Mr. Foster apparently owned.
yeah, it was
correct?
licensed through Lara, and it was actively being broadcasted or promoted on social media publicly.
All right, well, that's good. You don't know who broadcast it, did you, do you?
I do,
Who did it?
the DHS employee,
Who?
the DHS employee.
Okay. Do you know if they got any business?
Wouldn't know at that time because all the other employment factored into it as well too.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you know if Mr. Foster's company did any business.
As far as like,
Didn't make any money. Did that corporation earn any income?
I'm not sure, so I focused on the other income. The
Okay,
actual employee earned income.
so, you're saying that he did something bad, but you can't tell us, if he didn't make any income, he didn't have any income to report, did he?
I believe there was income to report, it wasn't reported. Because if I,
Well, I'm asking you specifically about his, cleaning business. Did his cleaning business earn any income?
I can't say specifically, but if it would have been reported on the application, then he would have had to report, show proof.
So if there wasn't any income from the cleaning business reported,
It
correct?
wasn't,
Yes or no?
it wasn't reported.
And you don't have any information to say that he earned income from that cleaning business, do you?
That's up for DHS to decide though.
That's up to you to decide. You're the investigator. Did you find any, you're sitting here telling us what a bad guy is, but you won't answer my question. My question is, did you find any earned income by his corporation, cleaning
For the
corporation?
corporation, no, for the other employers, yes.
That's good. So, when you testified that you went around and found some information, that would have been, some income, that would have been anything, right? Cleaning business,
It was reported on either the interview, one of the interviews, or one of the letters he had sent it that it wasn't making.
Any money.
wasn't making any or making enough or making any.
now what was the other business that you went to and said that he, earned income?
The in Alpha Roofing and then City of Pontiac.
What was he working with?
I would have to refer back to my report to get a
Field
specific date. So I see payroll is documented 12/16/20 through June 23rd of 22.
20, June 23rd, 22. How much money do you?
I would have to refer to the income. And I don't have that in front of me.
So this is the income from the roofing company, right?
Correct.
He was an employee.
Yes.
What you're saying is he never reported it.
Timely, no.
So he did report it, he just didn't report it timely. What about, was he receiving, state aid, Medicaid during that period of time?
From April of 20 through sometime in 23, yes.
Or 20 through all of 23?
Sorry, you're there with me. March 31st, 23.
So, not the whole time. And during the period of time that he was receiving this Medicare, what is Medicaid?
Medicaid.
During this time he received this Medicaid, he was employed, you're saying, at, the roofing company.
Yes, and the city of Pontiac.
All right. And the city, two jobs.
At different times.
Okay, so he only had one job at a time, but he received income, during.
Consistently, yes.
Did he have other insurance during that time?
They speak to what's in the report here. I just know that he reports the marriage in here and reports the spouse's tax return, but I don't see anything about what, I don't have it written in here whether or not he had insurance at that time or not.
So he reported his spouse's income
There was a tax return, that was it.
for his spouse.
Correct.
All right. And what year was that for?
That would have been for when he applied or was employed in Alpha
Where?
Roofing.
Where did he say he lived at that time?
I don't have that written in front of me.
And that was that reported with the initial application? Or was it reported at some later date, like, the beginning of the next year during tax return season?
What, I'm sorry, which income are you referring to?
His spouse's income.
Just again, it says for 2019 tax returns in here.
Did it say, did it indicate his income too?
Those employment records would have included his income, yes. I don't know about the tax returns now. Yes.
When did he work for the city of Pine?
Looks like April, oops, sorry. 9/19 of 22. So shortly after in Alpha.
9/19 or 22, work for the city of Pine. And when did that income terminate? When did that employment terminate?
I'm not sure, if I recall correctly, he was employed at the time when I called him for the interview. That attempt at the interview.
All right, well, let me ask you this, did you already started a case against his wife? Did you call her for the interview?
I would have to look back at, I don't know if that's written in here or.
Was he aware that you were attempting to interview him in connection with a criminal complaint?
There was, again, I told him for public assistance, we never got to that point because he never returned the call or made any attempts to follow up.
Well,
He indicated he
you
was.
did talk to him, did you not?
Very briefly.
And you identified who you were.
Yeah.
All right. and that, you were investigating, his application.
I just would state that it was for public assistance previously received.
Okay, did you say anything else to him before I hung up?
He told me that he didn't have time to talk. He was working, and that I got an email from him to contact him and told him to call, and I sent an email and tried to, complete an interview and give him an opportunity to explain, and he just chose not to.
Okay, well, what if he understood it to be a criminal investigation?
Objection, you can't speak to what's in someone else's mouth.
I agree. Now, he has a constitutional right to remain silent in connection with any criminal activity, does he not?
Objection, he's not in custody.
He doesn't have to be in custody. It was a criminal investigation. They have to advise him of his rights before they commence an interview.
Objection, stating the law.
Okay, so there's them short, it seemed like it was a phone call and short and hang up. I don't think. We'll see how, the question is relevant about whether or not he knew his constitutional rights. One, he was not, in custody, he was not in question. I don't know where this line of question is going.
Well, it was going, well, he did say he intended to question.
Intended, but the question did not happen.
I understand, but,
Right.
all right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got it. Did you have any conversation with Mr. Foster's caseworker?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, so you would be unaware of any information she may have had that wasn't placed in his file?
I'm sorry.
Well, when you have a conversation with somebody, you take notes, correct?
Sure.
All right, and then you put those notes in the file, right?
Well, that would be like an interview guide if they were doing them at that time.
All right, well, it's an informal conversation with somebody. And you were satisfied with their response, would you put notes in the file?
They should include them in case comments and state that they had a conversation or.
Did you, when you went through the file, did you make an effort to interview his caseworker to clarify some of her notes or to ask her if there was anything else that took place?
I'm not sure if there was a specific caseworker because they do universal caseload as well too. So when something comes in, different employees have hands on it.
All of the caseworkers in connection with your investigation. Did you talk to all of the people that he spoke with at DHS?
Caseworkers, no.
Did you speak to their supervisors?
No.
Caseworker supervisors? No?
No.
So all you did was rely on documents in order to put this case together, correct?
The documentation that was submitted today, yeah.
All right. And so you don't know if anybody ever said, hey, we're starting to investigate. What's the story with this? Can you fix this? Is there any, we have a problem with your documents.
Well, you're inferring that there's another investigation that was conducted by someone other than me, and it's not true that I conducted the investigation.
All right, so everything was dependent upon what you did.
Correct.
All right. And at no time did you go to a caseworker or anybody else in an effort to see if they had talked to him about correcting anything.
There was
Or
nothing.
fixing anything.
I didn't see anything documented.
So you never sent him a letter saying, hey, you were really married, you weren't unmarried. Why did you put down married?
That's what the phone call was for.
Okay, but he wouldn't talk to you, correct?
Chose not to.
All right. And what if he would have responded?
Objection, speculation.
Sister,
What happened to it,
you can go off record for, I gotta handle a matter of quick. It's new, Mississippi.
No, at the time that you contacted Mr. Foster, there was an investigation going on about Marquita Maiden, correct?
I don't know if it was completed yet, but I believe there was one going on.
Well, there was at least an investigation, correct?
Objection, relevant.
No, this is relevant. It goes directly, well, I mean, I respect, it goes directly towards One of the reasons Mr. Foster may not have talked to this agent is Mr.
So
Foster.
hold on. How is the investigation of somebody relevant to whether or not someone is committing fraud? You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So like, let's say it was found allegedly Miss Baby did nothing wrong. But yet there's still evidence of something going wrong outside of her, like an applicant. How is her investigation relevant to whether they found somebody as a result of the investigation committing alleged fraud?
He was advised not to talk to,
By who?
her lawyer.
That's not relevant.
Okay.
Sustained.
Wanted to know. Mr. Foster ever used any of those benefits that you applied for?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
It is broken. Never used them.
So what's your response to the objection?
My response is that, he never used the benefits. We don't know if he even knew about them down the line.
So it's alleged that he filled out an application and was approved. How do we not know about whether or not he have the benefits?
What was it, three?
I'm just trying to make sense of what he's getting at.
There were,
Because I think it's the submitting of an application. I don't know what's going on. There's an application saying you need some benefits, and the submission of the application falsely with information in it is the relevant part. It's not relevant whether or not the benefits were used. It was that you were approved for it. That's what the law says.
right.
My job here in this black room is to say what the law says. That's what the law says. I don't care about, I have no dog in this fight. So the benefits part of it is irrelevant. So objection sustained as to whether or not the benefits were used, because the question is, did he submit a fraudulent application? Him and Miss Foster, Jemiah Foster.
Did Mr. Foster ever renew his application?
No,
All right. And the application is for an annual period of time, correct?
it can be, yes.
Well, how long was Mr. Foster's application?
I would have to refer to the application.
Feel free.
It's not here in front of me.
All right, so you don't know how long it was.
I would rather speak to the document itself.
Judge, we're seeing the report, refresh your recollection?
Yes.
All right, you can grab the report on these two, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, let him see it first. Mr. Schwartz see it first. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have a time frame specifically written on it, but typically it would be for a year. But again, that I know it comes back to the COVID policy that they weren't closing them down under a few different stipulations, whether they're out of state, they're deceased, or if they voluntarily asked for it to be closed. And to, kind of drive that home is that there's the application.
But, you know, I didn't get a spell.
When was that application initiated?
April 8th to 20.
And you're charging him for 3 years, correct?
Correct, so it was open for that term.
You're charging, right? He has to keep it open, did he?
He was notified that it was open.
Well, you don't know whether he was notified or not, do you? Well, did you get his mail?
Objection, argument.
It's not argumentative. This guy thinks he's answering all these questions for everybody except himself. Did you know that he received information that it was open for 3 years?
I know that it was mailed to the residence that he reported he was looking at.
But the presidency changed at some point, had it not?
It wasn't reported, so I did
All right. Did you go out and see where he was living?
not.
All right. So you don't know where he was living, do you?
Based on the application, if that was truthful, it would have been 509 MLK
Well,
Boulevard.
but you're saying that it wasn't true, so,
That's I'm just
did
going
you-
based on
did
what.
you go-
Hold on, Mr. Schwartz, Mr. Schwartz. I'm saying this. Mr. Neal has to type this transcript at 3 in the morning, not you.
Well, I'll be
One at a time.
about it.
One at a time.
did you go and confirm where he lived?
Did I physically go to five?
Yes.
Martin Luther? No, I did not.
Did you go to any of the other addresses that he had?
Physically to the Lafayette? No. Did I obtain the lease from there? Yes.
You obtained the lease, correct?
Yes.
And then you looked at the lease and you decided that there were a number of other people living there, and imputed their income to everybody else, correct?
Not the lease, no.
Oh, okay. So Lafayette, that was, what is that, 150 or 151 or something?
151.
Right, and it was an apartment.
Yes.
And, when did he sign that lease?
I believe it was November of 21.
Okay, so, that would have been, would that have exceeded the year's period of time? When did he first, let's see, he opened, was the application for 820? Is that what we said?
Yes.
All right. So, and when did you say he signed that lease?
I believe it's November of 21.
So that was, 7 months after his, 7 months after his application should have expired, correct?
Under usual typical guidelines and not under the COVID restriction, sure.
Did anybody, you don't know personally if he received any notice that this thing was gonna go ad infinitum, did you? Do you?
Um,
Do you know whether he was personally notified at the 1 year point that, they couldn't cancel his insurance?
I can't speak to that.
All right. So the answer is, you can't tell us that he knew, right?
I
Yes or
can't-
no?
No,
Okay. And, you can't tell us, that when he signed his lease, he knew that he was still receiving Medicaid pending. Personally.
personally,
All right. And he never sent that lease to you, did he? Or to the Department of, DHS, did he?
no, he would have failed to report
Well,
a change in circumstances.
he wouldn't have failed to report. He thought his thing was canceled,
Any
maybe.
objection to what the defendant thought?
Yeah, that's called for speculation.
Well, so does his response.
Sustained.
So under all other circumstances, his Medicaid would have terminated, on April of, 21, April 8th, April 7th, midnight, April 7th of 2021.
Objection asked and answered already?
Yeah, multiple times.
I have some follow-up questions. First, counsel was asking about this business, this cleaning business and the social media, exhibit number 5. I am approaching, showing you exhibit number 5 again. I think on cross-examination, you said it's posted by Marquia,
Yes,
mentioned her,
Marquia may have been, yes.
and the date on that,
April 21st to 20.
and is promoting COVID cleaning. Fair to say?
New clean detail COVID-19 cleaning.
Based on counsel's questioning, move to admit exhibit number 5.
I object, Your Honor. It's not relevant. It's Marquia. I didn't ask about, well, I did ask probably about whatever they did, but what I will say is that I didn't ask, I asked him specifically if he knew whether that business did any business, whether it made any money.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't know. All he knows is that it's out there.
they're advertising as an open business, taking business, so I don't.
Well, I agree.
Right,
It's advertised as a business that exists, but it's not advertised as ever earning any income. And no income was ever reported.
Your objection is not correct. Objection overruled.
Move for admission of number 5.
Student.
And, based on counsel's question about the address that 501 MLK, he applies for benefits on It's exhibit number 1. On 4/20/20, fair to say, is that correct?
Sorry,
4/20/20,
what was 4/20/20 again? I'm sorry.
that was the application Mr. Foster submitted. Do you need to see it?
I have it right here, the regular applications 4/8/20, that one.
And on that exhibit, didn't say he was married,
Correct.
didn't say he had a business.
Correct.
And then during your due diligence check, exhibit number 8 into Curtis Foster, showing you exhibit number 8. That application indicates how many people are living in the residence, and Mr. Foster's name is not on here. Is that fair to say?
Correct. It's just Curtis and his parents.
Based on counsel's questioning of the Alpha records and the City of Pontiac records, did you in fact go to them and get records, and are they certified?
To where? I'm sorry.
In Alpha and as well as City of Pontiac.
Yes, I received records from both men.
First showing you exhibit number 14. What do we have here?
Certified records from an Alpha Roofing, and it is all of James's employment records from the roofing company in Alpha.
And in those records, does it say he's married? He's got a wife?
I believe so, yes.
And in those records, does he say he has an income and are all his paycheck stubs in there?
Yes.
And in those records, does it also say he's paying child support for Jemiah?
I believe that it was this one.
And in those records, is he eligible for care coverage and benefits and retirement?
Yes.
Move for the omission exhibit number 14.
Any objection? Is that 14? Is,
It's a new addition, Your Honor. For the James Foster.
and that's description of that is the Alpha.
In Alpha Human Resources records for Mr. James Foster.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. What was the date of that?
The date I received it?
When he was working,
Yeah,
You can go to the front. To the podium, Mr. Short, or move that black mic right there in front of.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I just missed the date on the document.
when he was working.
The one that you just said about child.
Yeah, 14.
Can you tell us the date on the, child support he's paying for Jemiah? And within the records, I think it's tab for
You
you.
want me to answer the first question he asked about the date of the employment?
We could start there too.
Okay. So per the human resource representative, dates began 12/16/20 and then ended 6/23/22. Then. It was like January 21st of 21. This document refers to the Oakland County Friend of the Court. And it's got employer income withholdings in Alpha Roofing Systems. It's got James Earl Foster on it with his identifying information. And it refers to Jemiah Diane Foster on it as well.
And in those records, it also shows a copy of a marriage certificate, the same one you found at Vital Records, does it not?
This one reports the marriage. Let me see. Since it's accurate. There it is. Yes, I have the copy of the marriage.
And it also has copies of, you indicated tax records that he submitted for his wife regarding healthcare and all of that stuff in those records, certified records, right?
Correct, yes, she's reported in here.
And it also shows how many raises he got during the time of his employment, is that correct?
Yes,
And none of that was reported within 10 days of any changes as required on his initial application, correct?
correct.
All right. Showing you exhibit number 15.
Certification of records from the city of Pontiac appears to be the records I requested from them in regards to Mr. Foster's employment with them.
And where's he living then?
One document regarding the marriage indicates 151 Lafayette, where he reports that he's married.
Right, and again, no changes reported to you at all as required by within 10 days of going anywhere.
Correct.
And all of his benefits were calculated from the initial fraud. I'm not married and I don't have a job.
Jack, that's a legal conclusion.
All right. As far as Jemiah Foster, counsel was asking you about the two shelter submissions, 3 and 5. Where's number? First, let's look at number 3. What is that document?
So it's Jemiah Foster, mailing address 151 Lafayette, apartment 106.
All right, and then what is number 5? What does that one say?
Jemiah is staying at my place until she finds a place, 151 Lafayette, apartment 106, Pontiac. And
Until she finds a place.
correct.
And then in all the other records that you checked for Jemiah, you got living with a friend, living with a brother, had the same name, but her father sends this in, she's living with.
Correct.
Thank you, no further questions.
You may step it out. Any other witnesses on behalf of you?
No, nothing else.
Anything on behalf of Mr. Jemiah Foster?
No,
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. James Foster, no, is that correct? Sure.
yeah, no, he doesn't have any questions. We don't have any additional questions.
Okay, well, witnesses are presenting the case.
No,
Motion to bind.
Yes, Your Honor, at this point, based on all the extensive history that you heard, well beyond what was necessary to show that the defendants didn't report changes in their situation. I've asked for a binding over on this, and specifically, they all start with the initial application in Mr. James Foster's case, leaves off a whole wife. Sort of like being part pregnant, either you got a wife or you don't have a wife. There's no legal documents that say otherwise. He also leaves off an entire business that he's promoting, not only him, but his wife. His additional records brought in by counsel's questioning, that I submitted that were certified. He's got jobs making lots of money, not showing that he's qualified to get these Medicaid benefits. In Jemiah Foster's case, again, we have her saying she's homeless. However, we have her father, and she's using that mailing address over and over. The records again show for him that he has paid child support for her. She's under the age of 22. And his exhibit number 5, her specifically, she's living with me till she finds another place. Based on the documents submitted, we believe there's a question of fact for the trier of fact to be asked for bind over on all counts. Thank you.
We have Mr. Jemiah Foster.
Your Honor, yes, when we strip this case down to what the statute actually requires, I would indicate that the state has failed to meet its burden. The prosecution or the assistant attorney general needs to prove that there was a legal duty to report specific information, failure to do so, and critically that the failure was knowingly and intentional. Here, the testimony with respect to Ms. Foster was that no one observed where she slept on a daily basis. No one tracked where she spent most of her nights from October of 2022 to April of 2023. And no one really meaningfully investigated whether where she was staying was part-time, temporarily, in a crisis, where she was at. I don't think we're disputing that she regularly visited with family members, but that's not what it is at issue here is just a lot of documents. And I think at best, this is an eligibility dispute, or at worst, maybe a non-fraud overissuance of payments. I don't think that Ms. Foster knowingly and willingly obtained any benefits. So based on that, I would ask the court to not find over Ms. Foster. Thank you.
Mr. Schwartz, on behalf of Mr. James Foster, Stephen.
Yeah, the extent that, that argument, applies to Mr. Foster, we adopted, and, then we'll state further that, he may or may not have made some mistakes in connection with his initial application. There's no requirement, to show that he opened a corporation or even that there was some advertising for it, unless it earns income. That's what triggers any problems. I mean, you can sit with a whole shelf full of corporations. Doesn't mean anything if they're just empty corporations. So there's no evidence of that. The evidence that might exist is that he said that he wasn't married and clearly wasn't living with his wife. He at some point said that his daughter was going to stay with him, and she may have stayed with him, but she may not have, and she may have only stayed for a week. Should he have reported and then reported something different? And most importantly, the investigation wasn't not what I would consider an adequate investigation. They went out, they got some documents, and they said, "Oh, we got this guy. Here we go." They don't know whether he intentionally did anything, inadvertently made a mistake, or anything else. He certainly, can't be held responsible for anything that happened after a year, and everything that they're alleging happened almost at the year mark and farther down the road. There was no evidence that he was notified that his Medicaid was going to extend forever. There's no evidence of any intentional fraud. All the information was available to the state. I understand that the state's overwhelmed, but if you're going to drop this hammer on somebody of committing this horrific fraud and taking all this money from the state that he wasn't entitled to, which he never really took. They continually paid apparently the premium for his insurance, insurance that was never used. And that they were aware he had other insurance. It was out there. Nobody did anything. We're asking that this case also be dismissed and just terminated here.
Response?
These are self-reported symptoms based on honesty. Changes within 10 days. Every time they go into that portal, every document they're submitted, they swear they are being truthful. Point is, with all these from the very start, they were not true. They were just not truthful. Mr. How you forget you have a whole life, a whole business that you're promoting, I don't know. How you leave off, you got all this other income, you didn't need the Medicaid. You should have turned in documents. Every change within 10 days is required. Mr. Jemiah Foster, again, same thing. Based on all these records and the extensive investigation with all these addresses, should they have caught it? Yes, but they believed them. The point is they had the duty to report changes in their circumstances, and they didn't. And as a result, they got benefits they were not entitled to.
I guess the easier one was Mr. Jemiah Foster, being under 22 years old, I believe that parent income needs to be reported on her application. I think I heard testimony that she was receiving food assistance, child care. She had a mailing address of 151 Lafayette, but she instead was herself homeless. There was a property manager that verified that she was basically staying there at the Lafayette address. There was a shelter verification uploaded by her, but it was found that she wasn't staying at that shelter. There was a redetermination guide back on September 26, 2022. She reported someone else living at the address, herself and a son living with a friend temporarily. I think we come to find out that that friend was a brother, and that brother was her father, Mr. James Foster Sr. So she was approved for assistance on see the application, I have it. The date that she was approved on, the income was not included within that, so the application was submitted fraudulently. Then she got approved for childcare and food assistance again on October 7th of 2022. Then there was another application on March 27th, 2023. So during her entire period, she was under the age of 22, and by law, appearance income needs to be reported on her application. And then there was a lease there with Mr. James Foster, her father's name on it. And it was a certified lease from the Lafayette Apartments, and then the duration of that lease was from November 10th, 2021 to December 1, 2022. I think there's enough for probable cause to bind over, to send to circuit court for further proceedings. So based on the evidence here at district court, at a probable cause standard, Ms. Jemiah Diane Foster would be bound over as charged to Sixth Circuit Court. Her arraignment date would be 10 to 14 days from today. The circuit court will reach out to you, Ms. Foster, Ms. Achenbach, and let you know that date. We will continue her bond as is. As far as Mr. James Foster Sr., he began his application, I believe it was April 8th, 2020. Then we picked up that he had, he put on the application, he wasn't married, but there's a marriage certificate saying he was married. And I understand Mr. Schwartz's argument that they may have been separated, but legally we're still married. So the question is, well, how come he didn't put anything down in the comment section? Quite frankly, I think common sense would have said, at least either right next to the box, say married but separated, like wrote it, or looked out to the comment box and said, I'm married but separated. And then it's on MDHS to determine how they want to deal with that. And then also he said he was not employed on that application. So he may not have been at the beginning of that, but he did get employment with an Alpha Roofing and City of Pontiac, in which he's required to report that he's making income and that he's got a job, because it would determine his benefits level if he even receives the benefits of Medicaid. And when questioned and when asked, and I frankly believe when given the opportunity to course correct, he just blew off the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, in which they initiated this investigation and brought these charges. I think there's ample evidence on the record of just failing to inform and update MDHHS on income, marital status. I mean, even the 151 Lafayette Street address, that he was living there with multiple people, even with Mr. Jemiah Foster. So I think there's enough evidence to send him to circuit court for trial on Mr. Foster for all his counts. I believe it's 4 counts. So Mr. Foster Sheen was also bound over as charged to Sixth Circuit Court for further proceedings. Your bond will continue, arraignment date 10 to 14 days from today, but circuit court will reach out to you and let you know. So you're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.